Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by...
For over 30 years, Vanguard Outdoors has made the gear that turns a regular hunt into another fine day of field. We know that a good shooting stick or a nice pair of binoculars can make or break your day. Our design teams include serious hunters who work hard to bring you the best sporting optics, shooting sticks, tripods, bags, and more. We are Vanguard Outdoors.
Hello everyone, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Silik and we've got an exciting show in store for you this week. Now earlier in the week, Jordan Brown was able to tag along on an early season turkey hunt. He's got a lot of great footage to share with us. You won't want to miss that story. And Jimmy's got a fishing adventure in store for us this week.
Well, that's right, Jenny. We do have another adventure on this week's show. We're going to do a little fishing on the Detroit River. This is the time of year when a lot of anglers and a lot of fish migrate to that river, and it's always a ton of fun. We're actually going to be with some guys from West Michigan, heading over to the east side to do a little bit of fishing, and I think we're going to have time for a little bragging board as well. Lots of good stuff. You stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger, and it's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors.
What a beautiful day in the woods.
Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by
Country Smokehouse, a sportsman's destination since 1988. Featuring varieties of homemade sausage, jerky, brats, and gourmet entrees. Holiday gift boxes can be assembled in-store or online. Details at countrysmokehouse.com.
The Michigan Charter Boat Association has provided education of the Great Lakes fishery for over 52 years. Information about Great Lakes fishing opportunities as well as captain advocacy can be found at michigancharterboats.com.
By Greenmark Equipment. Greenmark Equipment is a John Deere dealership network in southwest Michigan and northern Indiana. Greenmark provides sales and services to farmers, commercial businesses, large property owners, and homeowners. Information about pricing and products available can be found online at greenmarkequipment.com.
Last week, I was able to spend a couple of days at a familiar place, Turkey Camp in mid-Michigan. I covered this same camp last year and had a great time, so I thought I'd come back this year and tag along with a couple of different hunters, hoping to fill a turkey tag.
Well, I think we're going to check here. We're going to do the same thing. We'll let out some calls and see if there's anything close by. And if we don't hear anything here, then we may go up to our north gate or explore some different areas. We got options. Yeah, that'll be good. This morning, here we are, full moon, clear, 31 degrees. Be a good morning to shoot one.
These birds did exactly what we were hoping they would do off of the roost, and now we just needed them to close about another 20 yards in order to get a shot.
Well, everything was to script until the very end, but we had 3 Jakes, 2 Toms come out down the power line, and they were coming right into the calls, and you got the decoy out, everything was working to plan. They got to about what we figured was 65, 70 yards, and they locked up and couldn't coax them in closer. But we were on them, and they were making a lot of noise. Super exciting. We're ready to get back on them.
In the game, that's all you can ask for.
We hunted hard for a majority of the day and never really did get another bird going. But spirits were high around camp, as the main focus of this weekend is not just about turkeys.
We're here at our camp in Mecosta County, the Doyle Brothers Camp. We're here for our 2nd annual turkey camp. This weekend, I'm very excited to have my 3 brothers, Pat, Mike, and Denny, his son-in-law, Nick, my son Caden, nephew Brendan, and our buddy Mike. So we've got a great group of guys, and just thrilled to have everybody here. For us, my brothers and I, it's all about getting together, and everybody's busy schedule. It doesn't happen that often. We haven't been big turkey hunters, real active with it, but now we're getting into it, and got a buddy that's a real good caller, and he's a fanatic turkey hunter, and just a great opportunity to get together, enjoy camp. The camaraderie is the number one thing that we love, and it's just a great time to get together.
Finished day 1. We had plenty of birds in on this power line here. But we also had birds stay up in the north gate, so we ended up going up there and roosting up on the north gate. And Nick, we had them where? We had them just this side, up there. Right? Just this side of these pines. So I think the plan would be tomorrow to get a group up here, come into these pines, and call them up into this field. What do you think? Bring them up to you. We just talked about getting above them, right?
And you know they're going to roost along the creek, right?
Yeah, they're in there right now, tucked into bed.
Those cedars, everything else, you put them to bed, call them up like you always like to do.
Yep. Yeah, we talked about that today. Call them up, right? Call them right up into that field, and we get a shooter in there, and
That's exciting.
Oh, man.
we'll have one ready to roll.
Well, that's a great way to finish the day,
Absolutely.
is put a couple on the roost and get excited for tomorrow morning.
Our game plan for this hunt was working out perfectly, with 9 longbeards making their way out to the small field we were sitting on, and 2 of them heading our way.
Well, you know, got out here early, just like Mike was saying. Birds are out in front, down in the cedar swamp, roosted up. Weather was a little iffy. You always got to go. Came out. Birds were, it was a spring symphony. Birds were hammering on the roost. Flew down a little later than they did yesterday, and had about 7 longbeards worked their way out. A couple hens. Another 2 had plenty of options. There they go again. Caden and Mike are sneaking up this way now, see if they can tax them a little more. But I had 7 kind of hung up with some hens out in the field working left. 2 came out on a string right into the decoy spread like we drew it up. Laid the hammer down.
It was a great morning in the turkey woods, to be sure, and as a nice added bonus, Nick's Tom sported a double beard. About 5 minutes after the shot, the rain started, so we quickly headed back to camp, and although we were the first ones there, it didn't take long for the others to show up.
Way to go. Way to go. Awesome. Awesome.
Wait till you hear the story and see the video footage.
Great footage.
9 times.
Thanks to the Doyle family for having me in camp once again. It was a fun couple of days here in mid-Michigan, and I'm looking forward to more early mornings in the turkey woods this spring.
Beautiful.
Well, as you can see, those guys had a ton of fun there at the turkey hunt, and those turkey camps are pretty special. We're going to shift gears now and head south and a little east to the Detroit River, where this time of year there's a lot of fish and a lot of anglers.
Welcome to the madness.
Springtime means many things here in our great state, and one of them is the migration of fish and anglers to the mighty Detroit River. We launched with the masses today and made our way to the Trenton Channel with Captain Mike Jansen. Mike lives in West Michigan but gets to the east as much as possible. Today we had just gotten our lines in the water when we heard the magical 2 words that every angler loves to hear.
Fish on. First, literally the second jig. What's a good one? It's a good one. It's a good one.
Well, that took a long time.
I don't think I lifted it twice. All right, take care of him, Chris. Please. Just run it out of here.
Nice job, front of the boat.
Number 1. Yeah, so this morning we're fishing about 23 feet of water. They've been on purple in the early mornings, so that's what we got on. The whole trick to this, obviously, and everybody will tell you that online, is to stay vertical. So we just do the best we can. We got light winds this morning, so I'm not going to have to do much in the way of working the boat. We'll just let the current do the work.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. Obviously, it's a presentation issue. If you don't stay vertical, you don't catch fish. Color is a big issue too, but color won't matter if your presentation isn't right. So you'll catch fish with the wrong color, you just won't catch as many. You won't catch any fish if your presentation isn't right. So some mornings you have to figure out if they want it more aggressive, and sometimes they just want more of a swimming action up and down. You really need to stay within a foot of the bottom, because after that you get out of the strike zone. So if you're jerking 3 feet up off of the bottom, your bait for all practical purposes out of the strike zone 2/3 of the time, and then of course that limits your catch.
Just over 15 and a half.
Perfect.
We good.
He actually hit it on the way up and missed it, and I let it back down, and he snapped it. You guys to bump him.
Okay.
I don't know if he's gonna make it.
Ooh, he's right on the edge.
Living on the edge. Not eating 3 extra minnows This wind is going to potentially save his life.
He ate it pretty good though.
Pinch his tail.
Yeah, pinch tail. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
over
we're good.
15. Yeah.
Also joining us today was Chris Alphenar and buddy of mine, Brad Radel. Both good anglers, and we're both quick to put fish in the boat.
When you're jigging out here, right, you want to keep in mind that if you think about it like this, absent of any wind, the boat and the jigs and everything are going to drift down with the current like they should. The only thing that changes that, of course, are the wind and the waves. So I've got to use the trolling motor and maintain boat control by moving the boat into the wind. That becomes a real issue if you have like a up current wind that's holding you up, but you think, oh, I'm doing fine. I'm going along all right. But actually, you actually need to be powering down current with the current into the wind to maintain proper boat control and presentation.
We got a good wind this morning, right?
We have no wind at all, so I hardly have to touch the troller, which is a welcome relief after the last 3 days of fishing. Things might change later this morning, but hopefully we'll do some pretty good damage before that.
Mike guides for salmon, bass, and walleye, but really does it because he just loves to fish. And this time of year, that means as many trips to Detroit as possible.
So I try to get down here 2, 3, 4 times for 2, 3, 4 days at a time. As a full-time psychologist and full-time father, I don't have as much time as obviously I would like to have, but that's okay.
I was catching a little grief for sucker fishing when we're supposed to be walleye fishing, so I figured I better get serious about this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got an inch to spare. There we go.
Good job, buddy boy.
Thank you, my friend.
And you do some guiding down here as well?
Yes, yep. I do some guiding. April is walleyes on the Detroit River. May is salmon fishing and bass fishing in western Michigan. June is usually bass fishing, and then July, August, and September is mostly salmon fishing. I run guiding trips for walleyes, bass, and salmon. So.
How'd you get started doing that?
That's a good question. I was hired as a first mate. It'll be 30 years ago this summer on the Scuttlebutt, captained by Dave Helder in Holland, Michigan, and I did that for 5 years before I got my own captain's license and started running my own trips. So I'm probably a salmon fisherman at heart.
Okay.
Get that pot liquor.
Very nice.
Purple ice.
No need to
bump him.
Fish. As we grinded away at the fish, I had Mike talk a little bit about the rods and setup for the day.
Anything from 6 to 7 feet long is going to work. Personally, I like a longer rod, which kind of goes against what other people tend to recommend. But I like that for a couple of reasons. First of all, to stay vertical, I can move my rod tip around more with a longer rod than a short rod. And I also, if I'm jigging 2 rods like I am now, I've just got a little more time to bring that rod up before I can get my both hands on that rod with a fish on it. I like a stiffer rod myself because this is all about jig control. So if I have a whippy rod, like a steelhead rod, then I'm not going to be able to control that jig like I need to with a stiffer rod. And I can get the drag too loose, I think. But, holy shit. This might be a walleye.
That's really bent over.
Yeah.
Better not be a big old carp or something.
Maybe a smallie.
Oh, it's a big
old
sheep
frickin'
head.
sheep head. Don't reel anymore. Oh, you pot liquor. You pot liquor.
Well, we've caught them all today.
Yeah, we sure have.
We did catch a sucker, sheephead, rock bass, and a white bass on this trip. Lots of variety in the river for sure. Mike ran us through the line that he likes to use on the river today.
I have a 4-foot leader of fluorocarbon,
Okay.
8 or 10 pound test, for 4 primary reasons. The first one is there's a swivel between those, so that prevents any line twist. The second reason is if we are fishing clear water, and that can happen sometimes, and I think that fluoro will get you a few more bites than tying directly to the braid. The other reason I like it is when I'm running charters, sometimes the clients want to reel that fish right up to the tip of the rod, so I can tell them to reel up to the swivel, and then I don't have to worry about trying to net a fish that's 6 inches off the end of the rod tip.
Gotcha.
And then the fourth reason is that you are going to get snagged here, and I don't want to ruin other guys' drifts by trying to break off braid, which can take a long time, and I might break that braid off 30 feet out, 40 feet out, right? With that fluorocarbon leader, that fluorocarbon leader is going to break first, and I'm going to lose a little bit of leader, but I'm not going to leave a whole bunch of line in the river, and I'm not going to hang up somebody else's drift.
We had to really work for our fish today. The run is definitely on the backside, and many boats today were struggling to find fish at all. One of the cooler parts of the day was when Mike not only shared what to use with one of his buddies, but actually rigged some up and dropped them off. Always good to see sportsmen helping each other out. The walleye fishing in the Detroit River brings anglers from around the world, as it is simply one of the best places to target this fish. Good luck if you get one more trip in. It's definitely a special place right here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Thank you for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Make sure you join us in upcoming weeks. We'll have some more turkey hunting action headed your way, and of course some more springtime fishing. If you'd like to see a little bit more in-depth about the TV show or check out some behind-the-scenes information, you can always do that online.
Well, that's right, Jenny. Online is a good way to kind of keep tabs on us. You can do that through the website or different social media platforms as well as YouTube. Lots of places you can be checking us out. Make sure you are joining us over the next couple of weeks. More turkey action, more good spring fishing. It is a great time of year to be a sportsman here in the state of Michigan. We'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by.
Do you dream of somewhere bigger than your backyard? You can get there with Greenstone. Whether you want to hunt, fish, hike, or just watch the sunset, we're ready to help you own your place in the great outdoors. To learn more, visit greenstonefcs.com.
By Alta Equipment Company, providing sales, rentals, service, and parts because uptime matters. From earth moving to landscaping and light construction, Alta offers over 50 brands across 7 Michigan locations to serve you. More information online or 844-GO-2-ALTA.
Closed captioning brought to you by Double D Ranch Foundation, a nonprofit 501c3 foundation working to make hunting and fishing accessible for those with disabilities. Learn more at doubledranchfoundation.com.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. From the Keweenaw down to St. Joe, Kalamazoo, east to Monroe, to St. Marie and back again. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land.